Salakia. Continue. As you know, I'm gonna repeat it. This is Bush's statement. He said, "As you know, I've just returned from a very productive meeting with Soviet President at that time, Mikhail Gorbachev, and I am pleased that we are working together to build a new relationship in Helsinki, Helsinki. Our joint statement affirm to the world our shared resolve to counter Iraq's threat to peace. Let me quote, we are united in the belief that Iraq's aggression must not be tolerated. No peaceful international order is possible if large states can devour their smaller neighbors. And that just shows you something, how they plotted to get into Iran. You know what I mean? Clearly, no longer can a dictator count on East-West confrontation to stymie concerted United Nations actions against aggression. A new partnership Slovakia, a new partnership of nations has begun, and we stand today at a unique and extraordinary moment. The crisis in the Persian Gulf, as grave as it is, also offers a rare opportunity to move toward a historic period of cooperation. Out of these troubled times, our fifth objective, a new world order, can emerge. A new era, freer from the threat of terror, stronger in the pursuit of justice, and more secure in the quest for peace. An era in which the nations of the world, east, west, north, and south, can prosper and live in harmony. And then you will have people. Now, this is out of his own mouth. This is documented. You read it in this book, and you'll have people sit up there and still. That just shows you how that spirit of strong slumber, the Most High put on a lot of these people. And the crazy part is, if he did do that, if he got you still sleep to it to this day, you got stubborn, Jake. You know what I mean. But like the one brother was saying, he said in DTA, he was saying at the end of the day, you got some that go off on the doctrine and don't get a whole doctrine, but at the same time, if they just bringing out that some of the conspiracy stuff or that you an Israelite, Esau don't really want that. That's why he about to start regulating this internet. You know what I mean. Best believe, it's gonna be a hell of a year. Continue. 100 generations have served for this elusive path to peace, while 1,000 wars raged across the span of human endeavor. And today, that new world is struggling to be born. A world quite different from the one we've known. A world where the rule of law supplants the rule of the jungle. And that's that famous speech, you know what I mean, that anybody that actually researches, I'm not going to call them conspiracy theories, because what is a conspiracy? What's the definition? You know what I mean? Let's go into that real quick. Because they'll say conspiracy is something that can be proven, but at the same time, when it's proven, then what? You got this coming out of the man's own mouth. He's saying that all nations gonna be in a joint partnership. That's a one world order, ain't it? Bear with me for a second, Salakia. Okay, it says the word conspiracy. This is from Google. A secret plan by a group to do something unlawful or harmful. Synonyms: plot, scheme, stratagem, plan, machination, cabal, intrigue. The action of plotting or conspiring, collusion, intrigue, machination, collaboration, treason. Enough said. Um, a world in which nations recognize the shared responsibility for freedom and justice, and a world where the strong respect the rights of the weak. But at the same time, do you really? If they get the surveillance state the way they want it, and it's deep because, like I said, like if you hip to the guy that was making that documentary Gray State and how he died, and you know what I mean, like, and I think he was in the service at one point in time, you know what I mean, and how I think they took out his whole fucking family, you know what I mean. I think they took out his family and then tried to make it seem like he took out his family and then killed himself. Just some of now this dude is in the midst of bringing out a major project that's gonna expose everybody, expose some major stuff, and then he just get taken out like that. He just not taken out like that. He so called kills himself. What it was the stress, you know what I mean? Like get the fuck out of here. But but take time to think about it. It says a world where the rule of law supplants the rule of the jungle. A world which nations recognize the shared responsibility for freedom and justice. So who will have truly freedom? I mean, like if it's a police state, if you're under surveillance at all times, like fucking a Minority Report or some of these futuristic movies, like Total Recall, like everything was monitored, everything, you go in the airport and you're going through a full body scanner. You know what I mean? That's what I say, when you really look at the concept and the message of a lot of these movies, that's why I can wholeheartedly believe this. You know what I mean? Like go back to Star Trek, Star Wars. You know what I mean? Tron, all these movies. You know what I mean? Or, it's the same thing. So who really benefits from that? The people that's in control of the system. Because if you're monitored, everybody's monitored. Any um, a peg that doesn't want to fit inside the system can be rooted out and you know dismantled and destroyed. This is the vision that I share with President Gorbachev in Helsinki. He and the other leaders from Europe, the Gulf, and around the world understand how we manage this crisis today could shape the future for generations to come. Emphasis added. Is it a coincidence that the leader of the free world included such language in the speech that comes just as the world of science has initiated the most big, ambitious, ambitious project of them all to decode Yahweh's signature within ourselves? The slow and steady progress from eugenics to genetics to a new world order is not coincidental, dear reader. It is part and parcel of ages old plan to unseat the true power and replace him with a false idol. Even man himself. Transcendence and transhumanism are the fruits of the Eugenics Records Office and the pioneering efforts of men like David Jordan and even illustrious past president Theodore Roosevelt. And and the spirit just had me dwelling on that transcendence. You know what I mean? Like I never watched the movie, but I know it's one of the movies came out within like the last couple of years with Johnny Depp, and basically it was like Lawnmower Man. He, basically had he it was man merged with machine. You know what I mean? How much like they're presenting it in a way where, well, when you merge with this technology, you be so more and more beyond human. You know what I mean? Just like with this YouTube stuff with the guy, what's his name? Damn, Nelly. No, it's not Nelly. The rapper that supposed to had the auto tune implant in his arm. They just was talking about his. They were saying his name. You know what I mean? Well, they were saying his name. They had a video and said he made statements saying, he's really like a robot and some old crazy shit. You know what I mean? It's amazing and wonderful times. Continue. Who wrote this letter to prominent eugenist Charles Davenport in 1913? Oh, yeah, I'll read this because this is from Theodore Roosevelt. My dear Mr. Davenport, I am greatly interested in two memoirs you have sent me. They are very instructive and, from the standpoint of our country, very ominous. You say that these people are not themselves responsible. That is society that is responsible. Salakia, you say that these people are not themselves responsible. So they saying that you can't govern yourselves. This go back to like Plato's Republic and shit like that. That it is society that is responsible, or the people that call themselves governing society, the luminaries, those so-called elite. I agree with you if you mean, as I suppose you do, that society has no business to permit degenerates to reproduce their kind. It is really extraordinary that our people refuse to apply to human beings such elementary knowledge as every successful farmer is obligated to apply to his own stock breeding. Any group of farmers who permit their best stock not to breed and let all the increased salaki come from the worst stock would be treated as fit inmates for an asylum. And do you hear this shit? Now he's trying to say, so who would you consider is the better stock? These people that actually warmonger and take and do all these, weird, degenerate acts. You know what I mean? Like these people lay with fucking animals. These people do all these pagan rituals. When you really, like, you'd be surprised how many old customs are actually still, like, not enforced, but what's the word? Partaken in today. I mean, like, I don't know exactly what day it is, but around the winter solstice, No, Slovakia, not around the winter solstice. It's around. I want to say summer. It's not spring. It's around summertime. They literally have something called something with Tammuz. I've saw it in like with them Khazar fake Jews. It's some kind of something with Tammuz, and it'll be summertime, and these motherfuckers will have Christmas colors. You know what I mean? They'll be wearing the Christmas hats. I've literally saw this shit. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, I just saw it last year at this one church. You know what I mean? What it was called, Bishop Cosgrove, and it's a like a center for the homeless and just low income and all that. But it also has a big church. It's a big Catholic church, and I won't forget it. It was I want to say I can't remember the exact date, but I know it's around the summertime. Might have been in July, and these motherfuckers was dressed up in you Christmas colors, had Christmas hats on, motherfucking. They got mistletoes out there. And I'm looking at this shit. I'm like, these people really just don't know. I mean, that's the thing about it. You got some that ignorantly follow shit, and then you got some that actually know what they're doing and just being like the devil deceiving. So, like I say, at the end of the day, a lot of people ain't gonna know what's gonna hit them. I'm gonna finish this out, and then I'm gonna end the lesson. Yet we fail to understand. Oh, but my point of bringing all that up, Salakia, was so who's to say? Are they like in their mind they think a degenerate should be at an increase, but somebody's that is in poverty that you designed this shit. The projects was literally what they are called, projects. Let's see how this if we keep all blacks in low income, what they'll do. You're gonna take from what's closest to you. You know what I mean? Like if you fucked up, you know. That's why I always commend, and I mean, Laura will, I'm not going off, but that's why I always commend when Jake, even though he 2/3 and he fucking up, he looks past his own people and does a Robin Hood and takes from these fucking pink toed Edomites for real. Yet we fail to understand that such conduct is rational compared to the conduct of a nation which permits unlimited breeding from the worst stocks. And that's the point. That's a spirit, because I just spoke on it. So they figuring, because they're not putting a word on the name, but they talking about you Negroes, Latinos, Hispanic, Seminole Indians. They talking about you're considered the worst stock and they considered like the best. But like I said, these motherfuckers at one point in time was dirty, stinky, fucking. I mean, it wasn't just back then fucking animals. Like it's this movie called The Punisher, back not the remake with John Travolta, but the one with Dolph Lundgren. And it was when he was fighting the Yakuza, and he was fighting the mafia, and the head of the Yakuza was a female, and she told him, she said. We were the crime lords of Asia when y'all was still laying with fucking sheeps and goats and shit. When y'all was fucking these things, you know what I'm saying? Like, so y'all hadn't been civilized, you know what I mean? Like, but yet still they'll sit up there and say that everybody else are brute beasts. It says permits unlimited breeding for the worst stocks physically and morally, while it encourages or connives at the cold selfishness or the twisted sentimentality as a result of which the men and women ought to marry, and if married, have large families, remain celibates, or have no children, or only one or two. Someday we will realize that the prime duty, the inescapable duty of the good citizen of the right type, is to leave his or her blood behind him in the world, and that we have no business to permit the perpetuation of citizens of the wrong type at all. Faithfully yours, Theodore Roosevelt. As you can see, emphasize added Theodore Roosevelt society has no business to permit degenerates to reproduce their own kind letters of note posted with image of original letter. So this is an actual document stated. And when you go into that, I mean, like, take the time with your beloved America. I mean, America's supposed to be the land of the free and the home of the brave, and you got all these opportunities that's so much different than all these other places. What other country does that, where it tells you who can breed and how many children you can have? China. And China is considered what? A communist place. Because when you go into the definition of communism, what is it? What is it? Let's get it real quick. Bear with me for a second. I think communism is when the government owns everything. Communism is a political theory derived. Socialism, I think, is the one that the government owns all assets. Well, it says communism is a political theory derived from Karl Marx advocating class war and leading to a society in which all property is publicly owned and each person works and is paid according to their needs. Let me see. All right, right. It says this is communism, which is the best definition of communism. A. Communism is an economic system in which the distribution of property and resources is primarily controlled by the government. Communism is a political system in which power lies in the hands of a single figure who acts as a monarch. So at the end of the day, these people, I mean, like I said, and that's what China has. You know what I mean? That's why they could, they control how many children a person has or a household has. So at the end, they, well, your beloved America, you've been bamboozled to believe that this place was so much, it has so much freedom. And don't get me wrong, it's a lot. I mean, it has to be. I mean, but they paint a picture. You know what I mean? Like you got people. It's got to be better in a lot of places because you look at the caravan that just came. Well, that what the main reason why Trump went that wall. You got people that risk their lives, their children's lives, and everybody life to get here. So where they coming from must be hell. But what they don't realize is, you running out of the furnace to jump into the fire. I mean, this is truly Babylon. So with that, I'm gonna stop. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Call Halal Allah Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah Waha Rakha Kodash Barakatah. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith and sincerity. Shalom to the hopeful elect out there pushing the truth, risking their lives and freedom to do so. Shalom to the Akwath and the Akim out there listening and learning. Shalom to the confusion of brethren that we're hoping to join into our ranks. Shalom to all the brothers striving to stay in this thing. Keep your head up, stay in the spirit, stay prayed up, continue to do the works and the will of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. And Adawan Ratazah, I come at you with another lesson soon. And till then, Shalom, Shalom, and Abad Babal.